It's like being an animal in a cage at a zoo, and everybody comes and looks at you and does what they want to do, and then you go back to your cage. It's like you're a freak show. It's worse than any horror movie you could watch, with just bed after bed after bed of children like me that were going through it. You're chained to a bed. You're not allowed to just sit up. You don't look like an abused child when you walk in there. You look like a willing child who is happy. It's almost like putting on a mask.
Sex trafficking is a form of slavery and involuntary servitude, resulting in grave human rights violations. Sex trafficking involves individuals who profit from sexual exploitation of others and has severe psychological and physical consequences for its victims.
Around 2.4 million people are victims of human trafficking. 80% of these slaves are used for sexual exploitation. Some of the lead causes of sex trafficking are deception, violence, globalization, and profitability. Repercussions of sex trade are psychological debilitation, rejection, legal backlash, mental destruction, and poor health. The purpose of this project is to educate and raise awareness of sex trafficking.
Technology as a means of communication does not exist in third world countries, making girls easy targets because they're untraceable once they're gone.
Poor living conditions cause the families of girls to be sold to put food on the table at any cost. Traffickers target communities during droughts and famines because of the shortage of food, water, and other needs, so the traffickers can buy the daughters for little money.
Sex trafficking is an attractive business because there is high profit and low risk of being caught.
Trafficking is popular in this technologically advanced era because slaves are easy to obtain and transport internationally.
Relatives or friends unexpectedly draw the girls into the business because they can trust them. Sometimes they are even offered jobs to faraway places. Or, if they are lured by unknown acquaintances, the girls often end up giving their trust to them, but they don't discover the true purpose of their travels until it is too late.
Women and girls run away to escape abuse from their broken homes. This makes them targets for traffickers who appear to offer them safety.
Women are viewed as less valuable than men. This fuels the industry because the act of purchasing, exploiting, and disposing of replaceable women is not seen as unethical.
After being sold and deported to a foreign land and escaping, some girls are unable to return home or contact their home and family members because of a lack of resources. They have to rebuild their lives from nothing in this foreign land and are sometimes tempted to go back to the sex industry because they are deceived once again by the sex traffickers.
If girls are allowed to return to their homes, many will be socially rejected by their families and communities. Some girls will even choose to become prostitutes for life because they have nowhere else to turn.
Women who are victims of the sex trade can have many health concerns. These women usually do not have access to birth control and may face unwanted pregnancies. These women may suffer from abortions, sterilizations, and infertility.
The physical abuse these girls go through affect them emotionally and cause severe mental conditions. These include guilt, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, usage of drugs, and eating disorders. Sometimes they even cut themselves or commit suicide.
Many girls end up psychologically broken from the intense physical and verbal abuse. The chances of contracting STDs like HIV and AIDS is extremely high. This will follow them for the rest of their lives.
Some proposals to solve sex trafficking are:
The first one is education and awareness of sex trafficking all around the world, and just like in your own city, because it happens everywhere. And so we just need to get the word out and educate girls in what to look for, what to be aware for. Don't be friends with people on the internet.
Another proposal to solve sex trafficking is teaching girls self-defense. That way they know how to fight back and they are ready for anything.
Another one is we need to increase the funding of preventing sex trafficking. So, like walks or runs to gain money to help against the industry all the way around the world. So, especially in other third world countries.
Also, we can provide inexpensive, quality rehab centers for the girls who actually escape from the sex trafficking industry. That way they can be rehabilitated and put back into a normal functioning life with a job and clothing and a shelter over their head.
And the last one is increase security at the borders, so they're not taken across the borders and to other countries all the way around the world, and it's hard to get them back. And enforce the laws more. And we as the people need to be more persistent in persuading the government to do something about it and to give more money to this cause because it's huge.
One of the challenges to our proposal of education and awareness is that it's hard to get people around the world to the third world countries which don't have the advantages of technology. Through technology, we can spread the awareness of sex trafficking and the horrific experiences that girls go through it. But without technology, it's much more difficult because we have to transport people to speak to the third world countries or poverty-filled areas to raise awareness of sex trafficking. A challenge to our proposal of funding might be that people continue to ignore the problem of sex trafficking and will not put in effort or money to help the cause.
And the last challenge to our proposal about increasing security at the borders and more enforced laws, because they need to be more enforced. But the fact that it's hard to enforce laws, it just adds to the long list of things that our government needs to do, and it's hard to get to them because there's just so many things that we need to fix. But yeah, so that's all of our challenges to proposals.